Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of NYSC Half Hour. I am Nkem Okwogu. On today's episode, we would highlight the pivotal role the National Youth Service Corps plays in strengthening our bonds of unity. National integration is at the core of the essence of the National Youth Service Corps. Through the NYSC, national integration has been mainstreamed into our daily way of life as citizens of Nigeria, which ensures that wherever we find ourselves, we see each other as our brothers and sisters keepers. We will be right back.
The National Youth Service Corps, a call to service, a call to nationhood. Nigerian youths, stand up and embrace this clarion call. Wherever you are posted, accept it, embrace it. Do not harbor any fears, because your security is assured. Develop common ties with members of your host communities. You would discover that North, South, East and West, we are all brothers with common ties and a shared destiny as one nation. Do not lobby for preferential posting, for it is unpatriotic and illegal. Report at once to the orientation camp as soon as you are posted and contribute your quota to the overall development of our great nation, Nigeria. The National Youth Service Corps, building future leaders.
Welcome back. We start today's episode with Hamza Idris, the editor of Daily Trust newspaper. He is a graduate of mass communication from the University of Maiduguri and was posted to Akwa Ibom State, specifically Ikana community, for his service here. He shares with us an exciting and memorable story of his service here, how the members of the community fully embraced him, and how he considers himself an active member of the community several years after. Come with us.
My name is Hamza Idris. I'm the editor of the Daily Trust newspaper based in Abuja. It is a national newspaper. I went to University of Maiduguri for my BA in mass communication. And from Maiduguri in Northeast, after we graduated, I was posted to Akwa Ibom in South, and that was where my story, the real story of my life started. But when I was posted to Akwa Ibom, I told my father, may his soul rest in peace, and then he said, go. I was scared, but he said, no, you have to go. It is a national service. And so I started the journey to Uyo. And then from there, we went to the NYSC orientation camp. We did our registration, and it was a rallying point because you have, students from all over the country, all the 36 states, and we met. But a few days into the training, then we started thinking of, okay, where will one go from there? And then during the posting, I was asked to go to Ikana in Oruana local government area. But somebody scared me. He said, you are going to Ika? Ika, they eat people. So it was really, serious concern for me. I called my dad. He said, if it is the NYSC that say you should go. They will take care of you. So it was in the vehicle taking us to Ikana that now I got to realize that Ika is a different place, and then Ikana is also, a different place. And so at the local government headquarters, we are converted to Akwa Ibom Church School in Ikana. And then I met wonderful people there. So a Catholic school, I mean, yeah, it's a Christian school, Kwaibo. I was the only Muslim in that school, but I was warmly received by the principal, a deaconess, the vice principal, the two vice principals, vice principal academic and vice principal administration. And then I was given a 2-bedroom flat. Yeah. Actually, to stay with another lecturer, Mr. Ibanga, I still have, a relationship with him. So I really enjoyed my stay in Akwa Ibom. I enjoyed my stay in the Catholic school. And during those days, we relate very closely. We blended with the teachers, with the students, because I was teaching English language. And at a certain time, I was more or less the de facto head of the English club in the school.
Hamza enjoyed the trust and love of members of his host community.
They trusted me, and I was able to change their perception about the North, because they too, from what they used to read, or hear, in the media, that people in the North, they kill Christians. You understand? They found a different person. And then I changed the thinking. I said, it's not true. It's not true, because even down the North, the perception is that anybody who comes, to the South will not go back. But look at me now. I'm your teacher. You visit me. You bring food to me. And we relate very closely. And then I even introduced, press club. So I will, that time I used to ask the students to go to the town. It's a small village. They will go and get good stories. Will come and write the news. Then during assembly, the students will now, cast the news. It was very interesting, to the extent that the principal bought some of this equipment for us, like microphone, and all that. So they enjoyed it, and I also enjoyed the experience. Before I left, it was really marvelous, because they gave me a very rousing goodbye. They showered me with so many gifts. We exchanged telephone numbers, and more or less, we are now family. Yes, because I can say that Akwa Ibom is an extension of my family. Because among the students, there are some who now, see me as their mentor. They always refer to me. Many of them are, working in federal and state ministries and parastatals. So I am more or less a reference point to many of them, and they trust me. There is this experience that honestly I will never forget. One of my students who coincidentally met another co-member from Plateau State. She went there to serve, and then they met. He's working, and then they now fall in love to the extent that he wanted to marry her, but there was little resistance from his parents, on the grounds that this lady, from the North, precisely Plateau State, while he's from Akwa Ibom. But he insisted that people from Plateau are good. One of my teachers, Hamza, he mentored us very well, and I'm still in contact with him. So they said, if that is the case, I have to, clear it. I have to give reference in respect of the lady. Unknown to them, the lady is not even from my area in Plateau State. She's from the southern part of Plateau. You understand? I'm a Christian, and I'm a Muslim. But the parents, they don't even consider it, provided that, yes, I will give reference to the lady, that will be fine for them. And he brought her to my place of work here. I asked her some few questions, and then I also tactically asked some people about her. The rest is history. So you can see how NYSC, built very large bridge, that brings love, affection, understanding, and trust.
Hamza encourages prospective corps members to accept the posting they are given as an opportunity to explore Nigeria, build lasting friendships, and discover themselves.
This is an interesting experience that I always relish to share with people, and then to encourage graduating students that, look, wherever the NYSC ask you to go, just go. Don't look for any redeployment, because it is in the process of looking for redeployment that you will now, scale over your luck. Yeah, but if you go wherever it is, because I served in a village and I enjoyed it because I was able to save my money while serving in that school, because Gadi wasn't my problem, palm oil, pineapple, from the students and from teachers. It was really an interesting experience. So I really want to commend the NYSC because it's one single rallying point that is irreplaceable. Nigeria serves, Nigeria we serve.
It is interesting to see that many years after, the bonds of friendships he developed during his service here endures. And more importantly, as the editor of a renowned media outlet, he's able to approach his job through a national and patriotic lens. We move on to yet another inspiring story. Dr. Obieze Nweke, the medical superintendent at General Hospital Kiana in Nasarawa State. Dr. Nweke, who is from Imo State and studied in the University of Ibadan, came to northern Nigeria for the first time in 2007 for his service here. Today, he is the head of the General Hospital in Kiana local government area of Nasarawa State and has fully integrated into the community. He has even learned the indigenous language. Let us meet Dr. Nweke.
My name is Obieze Nweke. I'm from Imo State, and I schooled at the University of Ibadan, where I graduated in 2007. Then I came to serve in Nasarawa 2008. 2009, that's when I finished service in Nasarawa State before I was employed by the Hospital Management Board. Yes, and since then I've been in Nasarawa State. This is my second posting. I was initially posted to Obi local government, the General Hospital in Obi local government, and secondly to this place. I was offered job even before I finished the service, because they said, okay, once you're ready, if you're ready to stay, once you graduate, finish your service, you can stay back. And of course, I had to inquire from my parents and they gave me the go ahead, so I just had to take it. It's been exciting because it's NYSC that actually brought me to the north. I was from the east where I had my primary and secondary school, went to the west for my university education. And the experience I've had here has actually made me to sort of appreciate the country better, knowing the difference in cultures, religion, and socioeconomic status, and what actually it implies, especially as regards to our profession, health. So it has been a good experience because if I wasn't here, probably I wouldn't have known the challenges that the country faces when it comes to health. I schooled in one of the best medical school in the country, University of Ibadan, and being in the city, even though we had rural postings where we went to appreciate people in their rural environment and people that are not from the urban setting, but being here actually exposed me more, both during the service here and during my work. So it's been challenging, but also been exciting.
In order to serve the community better, he took up the challenge to learn Hausa, the most spoken language in the community?
I'm good in house as long as it applies to taking care of my clients, my patients, and interacting with my colleagues, and also to the general community. But of course, I know there are some extent that will go in conversation that I'll get lost. NYSC did its own part, making sure that people that are coming to the Hausa speaking, or majorly Hausa speaking states, start learning Hausa from the camp. They gave us the pamphlets and booklets to help us in learning Hausa.
The limited number of healthcare practitioners, particularly medical doctors, makes the work challenging, but in the spirit of service to humanity, he remains steadfast.
In Kiana, as we speak, I'm probably the only medical doctor, trained physician in the whole local government. You know, it's quite bad. So facing that challenge, knowing that you're putting in your best, where you do calls, morning, afternoon, night, day in, day out, throughout the month. Even if I'm going for a program, maybe for next week, I'll still spend the whole weekend, you know. So it's challenging, but knowing that what you are doing is helping the populace, is helping mankind, and you are doing it well.
Ever since I resumed this office, well, the little I know about him is that he's very hardworking. He's the only doctor we have in General Hospital, Kiana, and he covers a lot in the hospital. He's the head of the hospital. He's heading the hospital.
Our clients, so kunsan akwai sabon ciwo ana kira COVID-19. To NYSC members, as I said initially, I think our appeal to all prospective core members and service core members not think about redeployment for any reason. Wherever they are posted, they should take it as an act of God and as a responsibility and a duty on them to, one, improve themselves, improve the community where they serve, and add something to the development of their country. And as youths have a lot of opportunities, they have a lot of potentials, and it depends on how they handle those potentials. The youth should be grateful for the NYSC scheme, because if, like, I was just coming to Nasarawa State as a medical graduate, not under NYSC, I wouldn't have been received the way I was received. I'd have to stand on or find my own feet and start all that fresh. But coming under NYSC, you're welcome. As you're serving, you have opportunities if you have worked hard, and they identify your hard work and all that. And also, as I said, personal development is the first year after graduation that people get to know actually their real life outside school. So I think all core members and prospective core members should make the best use of that 11 or 12 months.
It is really commendable, the commitment of Dr. Nweke. This is a true reflection of the NYSC value of service to humanity and national unity. Moving on, the National Youth Service Corps identifies the need to bridge the unemployment gap by training corps members in viable skills for self-reliance and wealth creation through its skill acquisition and entrepreneurship development program, SAED. Today, we feature Faith Enobakari, an ex-corps member from Edo State who served in Kogi State in 2018. She perfected her fashion designing skills in the in-camp SAED program and is today the CEO of Foxy Couture in Lokoja, Kogi State, her state of deployment. She is fully integrated into the community and impacting in the youth of the needed skill acquisition and entrepreneurship development trainings. Come with us.
My name is Zenoba Karifet, and I'm an ex-corps member. I'm from Edo State, and I'm a fashion designer. I learned this trade when I was in school, and NYSC perfected it for me. Welcome to my fashion house. Thank you very much. I learned the skill while I was in higher institution, which is Adekune Ajashi in Akunba Akoko, Ondo State. And after then, I went to camp. So when I got to camp, I joined the SAED trainee, which is skill acquisition, entrepreneurship development, where I joined the fashion design group, and we learned some other things that I don't even have an idea of why in camp. So that sharpens my skill more. And after the camp, I was posted to Lokoja, which is the capital state of Kogi State. So after then, I brought one of the machines down here to work with. So from there, some of my fellow corps members then, they patronized me, and some churches that are affiliated with NYSC too. I make choir uniforms in large numbers for them, and that was how the journey began. After the NYSC service year, which ended July last year, which is 2000, yeah. So I decided to open a fashion store of my own, because I never had the plan on looking for a white-collar job, because I know there isn't much jobs for everyone. So I decided to open a store and decide to work for myself. Core member behind me working on the sewing machine is actually training with me through the SAED program. I've trained many core members and still counting. I have some of them which are currently not around at their place of primary assignment, working as we speak.
I came into fashion designing through the NYSC SAED scheme. So I started this journey during the orientation camp, 3 weeks orientation camp. So that was where I started fashion designing. So, and I made the mind that after the orientation camp that I'm going to put in for post-camp training. So, and I decided to continue with Fozi Couture so that I can further my skills and sharpen it more. And so far, it has been wonderful. I thank NYSC, which that has given us the opportunity to look for what we really have passion into. So with this, I can even say, okay, even though I searched for a job and I'm not able to get the job after my NYSC period, I can still stand on my own. I can stand on my own so that I can make something for myself instead of depending on white-collar job.
I see myself owning a big fashion house whereby I can train young people who are actually looking for something to work with, who are interested in skills and want to improve on themselves. I'm impressed with NYSC scheme, especially with this SAED program they've organized, because it has really helped so many core members that are into nothing or that are not doing anything in getting something to do for themselves. So I'm actually very happy about it, and it's actually a great idea.
love to see young people winning. The National Youth Service Corps indeed provides a platform that gives young people a real opportunity to achieve their full potential. In our stories today, the ex-Corps members we featured have fully integrated into their states of deployment. They have found a means of livelihood, become members of the community, and are making great impact within their newfound communities, all in the spirit of national integration. And this is where we draw the curtain on today's episode of NYSC Half Hour. Thank you for investing your time with us. We would love to hear from you. Please write to us on the online handles displayed on your screens right now, and we would write back. Remember, the safety of Corps members in our communities is the responsibility of you and I. Until I see you next time, I am Nkem Okwogu. Stay safe.